Hey everyone, this is Mark today, and I want to talk to you about the global banking and financial system and the very real and very serious problem that's affecting more than 2 billion adults in the world. And since I moved out of the United States and I'm in Puerto Rico now, it's actually affecting me. Now in this video, I'm going to break down how big this problem is. I'm going to talk about how it's now affecting me personally, what I've had to do about this, and of course, what the solutions are, what the opportunities are of how we're going to be able to get in front of this to set ourselves up from this wealth transfer that it's going to create. So stay tuned. All right, welcome back. So today I am back in the backyard here at the pool. I have recently moved to Puerto Rico. If you're new to the channel, my name is Mark Moss, and this is not my normal studio. You can go back and watch some of my past videos, but I've recently moved from the United States to Puerto Rico. It's taken a little bit longer than I wanted to get my studio set up. So the last couple videos I did inside, the lighting was horrible. Decided to come back outside. So give me a little bit of a break. Just sorry for the mess. We'll be back to a regular studio here in another 2 weeks or so, hopefully. All right. But in the 3 weeks that I've been here in Puerto Rico, we've had a lot of problems. And most of the problems that I've had moving from the United States, moving from California to Puerto Rico, have been around banking. Now, there's lots of other problems, obviously, lots to get used to, vehicles and licenses and corporations and all those things. But the majority of the problems that I've had have been around banking. Some about real estate as well. But today, like I said, we want to talk about the financial system. We want to talk about banking. Now, if you're following me on Instagram, then I've been giving you a lot of this play-by-play. If you want to know more about Puerto Rico and how I'm getting adjusted here and want to see that behind-the-scenes play-by-play, I recommend that you follow me on Instagram. You can see it linked in the description down below. So go ahead and follow me on Instagram. But it's been 20 days now. I've been here on the island since at the time of this recording, and I still don't have bank account. I have no bank account. I have no access to my money, which is just incredible. Now, technology has fixed lots of things. It's fixed almost everything, especially when it comes to creating this global market, right? Now we can buy products anywhere in the world, so I can get stuff shipped here from Puerto Rico, no problem. The way we shop has changed. The way we communicate has changed. I'm recording a video to you from Puerto Rico. I've been doing lots of Zoom from Puerto Rico. We can share information. I'm sharing photos, videos, uploading, all of that. Technology has fixed all these things in order for me to live in Puerto Rico and not in the United States. However, the financial system hasn't kept up. It hasn't kept up with that. Now, before I break into this, I do want to just let you know real quickly, at the first of the year, I did a 3-day training, and it was for free, and I did it all for you, for my subscribers of the channel, which we just broke 200. Thank you for joining in. And it was 3 days of training, and it was such an overwhelming response. So many people found value in it, and it's so important to get 2021 started the right way, New Year's resolutions and all. So if you're ready to get your finances set up the right way, join in those 3 days of training that I'm doing. Like I said, I'm bringing it back as an encore because the response was so good. There's a link in the description. So go ahead and click on that. But anyway, back to the financial system that we have. Like I said, it's not keeping up. So I can Zoom from here. I can do YouTube videos from here. I can buy products from here. And the financial system hasn't caught up. And sure, we have PayPal, and that makes it easier, Venmo, etc. But it doesn't fix the main problems that we have. The main problem that we have is that just like me right now, having no access to banking, in the world right now, there's over 2 billion adults. 2 billion adults in the world with no access to banking for different various reasons. And most of it is because the current financial system that we have, it's confined within borders, inside borders. It's closed off where you have to have permission to be a part of that. And that's just not working for me. All right. Like I said, I'm now in a different border. So now my other banks in other borders wouldn't work. And now I don't have a bank here because I don't have permission to get it open. And this has created numerous problems for me. Let me just give you a couple. Just in the last 20 days since I've been here, I need to get access to money as an investor. I'm constantly getting into different deals, early round deals, and I have to move large sums of money around, 6 figures plus on a regular basis. And I needed to get into a deal. I had a very short window to get the money wired over there, but I couldn't get access to the money, which is in Wells Fargo Bank, which is obviously a big bank in the United States. In Puerto Rico, there's none. And so how do you send several $100,000 if you can't access to the bank? You can't. So I literally had to go from Puerto Rico. I had to fly on a plane over to Miami just so I could send a bank wire. So that was very long. It was very slow. It was very expensive to do that. Then just last night, I have a financial copywriter that I use down in, I think he's down in Australia, and I had to pay him. He wanted me to send him via Zelle, which is again through Wells Fargo Bank. And it was $2,500, no big deal, but nope, I could only send him $500. That's it. Because I don't have permission to even access my own money. I don't even have permission to send my money to somebody else, and even a small amount like $2,500. Now, of course, this whole financial system is walled off. It is permissioned to protect us, right? That's what they tell us. It's all to protect us, of course, right? Because my $2,500 could do all this damage. Meanwhile, the United States sent $400 million to Iran in unmarked bills. Meanwhile, FinCEN just did a report that shows that the banks, the main banks, HSBC, JP Morgan Chase, helped launder over $2 trillion. And of course, none of them got in trouble. They paid some fines. They went on. But my $2,500 is going to cause all these problems, supposedly, I guess. But the problem is, like I said, accessing banks. It's always a pain. Now, even when I was in the United States, it was a pain. I still had to leave my house, drive to the bank, set an appointment, wait in line for a banker, fill out the forms, all of these things to send a wire. It was a big pain in the butt. It was a lot of time. It was a lot of waste of time. It was a lot of waste of money for me. And so even then, it was a pain. But why should it be that way? Haven't we come far enough now that we don't need to deal with that? I mean, it just seems so strange in today's day and age that I don't have custody of my own money legally. The money in the bank is not yours legally. The money in the bank is the bank's, and all you have is an IOU to access those funds. And so that means that I need their permission. The last time I tried to get into a deal, I sent my wife down to do the wire, and it took her over an hour to talk to this manager and get this approval, and she couldn't even get it done. They wanted to know why we're sending it and who we're sending it to and do we know these people and all these things. And it's just so crazy that I need their permission. All right. But like I said, all of these problems are because the current financial system is caught between borders. So the bank in the United States doesn't work with a bank in Puerto Rico. It's also permissioned. Now, to set up my bank account here, I have to have my corporation stuff filed. I have to have all these different things. They want copies of this, copies of that. The last couple of things they're hanging up on is that they want an address. They want a utility bill, but I don't have that yet. And so I'm not able to get access to banking, right? And there's lots of people in the world just like me. Like I said, 2 billion people that don't have that either. So what's the solution? This is a big problem. I've set the stage, but what is the solution, right? Like I said, we can order stuff here now. I can video conference from here. So what is the solution? Of course, if you're a little bit ahead of the class, then you already know that Bitcoin fixes this. Some of the main attributes of Bitcoin that make it so powerful is that it is permissionless. Nobody needs permission to join the Bitcoin network. Anybody can download a wallet, put some funds in, and you're instantly on the network. It's also borderless. So that means my Bitcoin wallet works just the same in Puerto Rico as it did back in California. It's also, I am also able to hold custody. So I have access to my funds as opposed to now the bank has them and I have to get their permission to send them because they have custody. Of course, it's much lower cost, time, and money. Now, some people want to say that it's more expensive to transact on Bitcoin than another blockchain, and that's a subject for a whole nother video, but I can tell you it sure is a heck of a lot faster and cheaper than me having to hop on a plane and go to Miami, or even me to jump in my car and drive down to a local branch to deal with that. All right, now what we look for as real investors is we're looking for opportunities that give us asymmetric upside. That means they have more upside than downside. I talk about this quite often, and the way that we find opportunities with asymmetric upside is to find deals that we have asymmetric information in, all right? And that is what leads us to today. Now, a lot of people are short-sighted. A lot of people don't see these problems, don't see these problems that a lot of people, 2 billion adults, are facing right now. A lot of people are so short-sighted, they just think, well, if I don't have the problem, then it doesn't exist, or there's not a big enough need for it. So imagine if, let's say you were in Silicon Valley when Uber was being pitched around, and someone came to you and said, hey, I have this idea. We're going to do this ride-sharing app, and it's going to solve all these problems for people that need rides. And you're like, who needs a ride? I don't need a ride. I got public transportation. I got a car. There's no one has that problem, right? And so you didn't see that. And that's kind of where we're at today. We have a problem that's massive. 2 billion adults in the world don't have access to the financial system, don't have access to a permissioned and a border payment system and just like I'm suffering from today. And so it's a massive problem that we can get in front of right now. There's asymmetric information. You have this information today that most people don't have. Now, the sooner that you take action, the better. Of course, some people think there's still risks, and there are. But if you wait till the coast is clear, this whole opportunity will pass you by. You don't want to wait until the coast is clear when the upside is gone. All right. So let me know what you think. Do these problems make sense to you? Even if you're not suffering from them directly, can you understand the pain and the problems that it creates and how the solution solves it? Leave me a comment and let me know. Sorry about the birds chirping and the roosters crowing. I know it's a lot of noise. Also, don't forget, next week I'm bringing back again the 3 days of live training to start 2021 the right way. The link is in the description down below. Encore. It was so good. Everyone loved it so much, I decided to bring it back one more time. So click on the link down below, and I'll see you there.